Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and the other day I decided to go for a bike ride because I wanted to check out we had heard that there was going to be some road construction and that some of the roads were going to be closed. And so, sure enough, there's the sign right there that says, the long straight stretch that I usually take to go to the park, well, that's closed. And of course, there's another route to go, but it takes a lot longer. So anyway, I thought, okay, they've started the construction. Let's take a look at it. So I jumped in my drone, FPV type, jumped in the drone, and following the same route here. This is the route that I left. I didn't show it, but this is the route how I left where I'm living, and then I'll make a right turn here. Of course, it's kind of a sloppy right turn in the Mavic Air 2, but I'll get around to it. So anyway, so I thought, well, while I'm flying down to wherever the construction is, I will tell you a story. I don't know if you can hear it, but we've got a powerful little plane flying overhead. Where we have moved, there's a lot. It's a practice area right adjacent to where we live, and so there's a lot of little planes going up, and they do a lot of aerobatics and stuff like that. So anyway, I thought, well, I'll tell you some stories of my flying experiences while we're traveling over to see what's going on. And there's that sign. That's the sign that I just saw that said, road closed. So anyway, I don't know if you know what a vortex is. I'll put up a picture. Vortex, it's kind of similar to if you're walking along and you step in the mud and the mud squishes out from under your bottom of your foot. Well, that's what happens to air at certain times when a plane is, like if a plane's flying fast, it just cuts through the air. But if you slow down and and the plane is not going as fast as it's supposed to, and you have to pull the nose up a little bit so that it's called the angle of attack, so the air coming at you hits the bottom of the wing, and that helps with the lift. But in the process, the air that hits the bottom of the wing actually like squishes out over from the end of the wing, and that's called a vortex. And vortexes are very dangerous. If a big old heavy plane comes in to land at a control tower airport, because landing is when the vortexes are the strongest because of the angle of attack. If a plane comes in to land, the control tower won't let a small plane take off or fly through that area for at least 2 minutes, and that's the standard. Because vortices they last a long time, and they're very dangerous. So anyway, my first experience with a vortex with vortices was I was coming back from my first cross-country solo flight. Now here's what they're doing down here. If you take a close look, it looks like they're trying to locate, we'll zoom in, but it looks like they're trying to locate something, very carefully dragging the bucket along a little deeper each time, and they don't want to break whatever they're looking for. I was looking for a sewer line one time when I was running a backhoe. Actually, it was a backhoe, and accidentally hit the sewer line. Then that made a lot of work for my friends. But anyway, back to the flying. So I had a couple of experiences with vortices. The first one, I was coming back from a long cross-country flight, and I was a new pilot, and just coming into the Pasco Airport, and there's two runways, and they're at 90 degrees to each other. And so I was going parallel to the runway that I was going to land at, but you go down past the runway, and then you turn around and you come in and land. That's called going downwind, and then crosswind, and then landing. So I'm planning on that, but there was a big, heavy military plane that flew across in front of my path, and he flew across like when I was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. So he flew in front of me, and I didn't didn't give it any thought. I just kept flying, and all of a sudden, faster than I can even imagine, my little Cessna 150 went up 90 degrees. The left wing went straight up, and the right wing was down, and the world was sideways. And then all of a sudden, it flipped right back, and it happened so fast that I didn't even. I mean, it just was now and then. That was how quick it was. And everything in the plane got kind of shook around, including me. I had my seatbelt on, but anyway, that was my first experiences, and that's when I realized that when there's that sign again, when my instructor said that vortices are dangerous, that's when I realized, yeah, they are. So that was my first experience. And then my second experience was later on when I had my Cessna 170, and I had a lot of experience flying. And I used to fly, it was loose formation with a friend of mine, and we would be like, 20 to 50 feet apart. And when you're on the ground, that looks pretty close, but up in the air, it's not that close. And we would take off together and land together. The tower would allow that. It's called a flight of two. And so it was kind of fun to do, and people enjoyed watching it. So we're ready to take off, and we're going down the runway. And when you fly formation, you don't create vortices. You do very little. You just very little control surface movements. Otherwise, you create a vortice. The guy next to you and behind you, second guy, he's going to get that vortice. Well, that's what happened. My friend forgot all about that rule. And he taken off a normal takeoff, and so you pull back on the yoke, and the angle of attack changes, and the vortices shoot out. And I was only about 20 feet off the ground when my plane just all of a sudden turned left and banked to the left. And of course, I caught it in time, and I'm still alive to talk about it. But anyway, that's what vortices are, and they're real. And you see a jet in the sky with a whole bunch of curlicues in its contrail. Those are from the vortices. Well, I want to thank you for watching my videos. Sometimes I think, well, anyway, I won't tell you what I think. Thank you for watching, and God bless.